Life is short. That is not a warning, it is a fact. A fact you must confront with courage, clarity, and commitment. You are not placed on this earth to drift aimlessly, to settle for mediocrity, or to live according to the expectations of those who have never dared to dream. You are here for a purpose, definite and divine, and every second you spend ignoring it is a second surrendered to fear, doubt, and delay. Time is not your enemy. It is your most precious asset. It cannot be stored. It cannot be borrowed. And once spent, it cannot be recovered. The question is not how long you live, but how intentionally you live while you are here. And so I ask you, will you let your days slip through your fingers like sand, or will you grasp this moment with both hands and begin to shape the life you were meant to live? Because life is short, but its impact, if lived correctly, can echo for generations. Let me show you how. You must begin with a decision. Not a wish, not a hope, a decision. A deliberate act of mind and will to determine the reason for your existence and move toward it with unshakable clarity. The man who knows what he wants is a force of nature. The man who does not is like a feather in the wind, blown by opinion, circumstance, and the direction of other men's desires. You were not born to float. You were born to build, to shape, to decide. You were given the greatest power known to mankind, the ability to choose your purpose, fix your thoughts upon it, and move toward it with a definiteness that bends time and opportunity in your favor. And yet, so many walk through life in a daze. They drift from task to task, job to job, year to year, without ever stopping to ask, why am I here? What do I want from this brief life? They wait for a sign, they wait for a miracle, but the truth is this: the sign you are waiting for is already within you. It is your desire. It is your longing. It is your dissatisfaction with the ordinary. That is the signal. That is the divine whisper calling you to rise and live with intent. The man who succeeds is not always the most talented. He is not always the best educated. He is, however, always the most definite. He knows what he wants. He has burned it into his consciousness. He does not look for 10 answers. He looks for the answer, and he acts upon it without hesitation. You must decide what you want, not tomorrow, not next year, now. You must write it, read it, declare it, and fix it in your heart until it becomes as real as the ground beneath your feet, until your entire being begins to bend in its direction. If you aim at nothing, you will hit nothing. If you do not choose your purpose, someone else will choose it for you, and you will live your life building another man's dream while yours withers in silence. Purpose is the seed. Every result, every victory, every success that follows is the fruit. But a man cannot grow what he has not planted, and he cannot reap where he has not sown. Consider the great men of history, not by title, but by impact. Their lives were not accidents. They were plans lived out with conviction. Think of the builder who sees the cathedral before he lays the first stone, the artist who sees the masterpiece before the canvas is touched, the inventor who sees the solution before the problem is solved. These are not dreamers. These are doers, and their dreams are weapons sharpened by definiteness of purpose. Now, do not mistake purpose for ease. Purpose does not remove difficulty. It demands strength in the face of it. When you know what you are after, the obstacles ahead are not signals to retreat, but signposts reminding you that you are on the right path. Resistance is the cost of clarity. The greater your goal, the greater the resistance, and the greater the reward. You will face discouragement. You will hear the doubters, the mockers, the voices that say, it can't be done. But the man who has found his purpose does not look backward. He presses on. He grows stronger with every no. He becomes sharper with every setback. Because he knows that purpose is the compass that never fails. When the night is dark, he follows purpose. When friends fall away, he follows purpose. When results are delayed, he follows purpose. Because he is not led by sight. He is led by vision. And here is the truth. When your mind is clear and your spirit is locked in purpose, the world begins to move. Doors that were once closed begin to open. Opportunities that were hidden begin to appear. And life, short though it is, begins to expand in depth, meaning, and reward. Purpose is power. It is the starting point of all success. Without it, there is no direction, no discipline, no destiny. With it, your path becomes straight, your decisions become swift, and your energy becomes focused. So decide today, not tomorrow. Decide who you are, what you want, and where you are going. Write it, repeat it, live it, let it become your obsession. Let it shape your thoughts, your habits, your actions. Do not wait for purpose to find you. You must find it. You must declare it. You must fight for it. Because once you do, life, though short, will become limitless in meaning, impact, and legacy. And when that day comes, when you have lived with direction and died without regret, you will know what it means to have truly lived. So begin, decide, and never look back. Once a man has determined what he wants, he must do something far greater than merely plan. He must believe, for without belief, the most magnificent dream will lie dormant, unformed, and unrealized. Faith is the ignition switch of achievement. It is the unseen force that turns a thought into action, a desire into movement, and a vision into reality. Do not mistake faith for blind optimism. Faith is not fantasy. It is not empty wishing. Faith is certainty without sight. It is the absolute conviction that what you desire is already yours, if only you will pay the price and refuse to turn back. It is mental discipline, the ability to hold a vision in your mind even when the world tells you it is impossible. Every man who has ever accomplished anything of worth began with faith, not with money, not with resources, not with applause, but with an inner knowing, an invisible, unshakable belief that he was meant for more, and that somehow, some way, he would reach it. The circumstances may have been against him, the odds may have laughed in his face, but his mind was fixed and his faith was firm. The man who believes is a dangerous man. He cannot be stopped by failure because he knows failure is temporary. He cannot be discouraged by delay, because he understands delay is not denial. He cannot be shaken by rejection because he is not seeking approval. He is walking in purpose. Let me tell you a truth that most never grasp. Success is first achieved in the mind. The victory is won before the battle begins. Faith is the soil in which all progress grows. Without it, doubt will take root, fear will multiply, and your energy will be scattered like dust in the wind. You may say, "But I have doubts." And I tell you, every man has doubts. But the man of faith does not dwell in doubt, he overrides it. He trains his mind daily. He repeats what he believes. He saturates his soul with a picture of victory until it becomes more real than his present circumstance. A man without faith will find reasons to quit. A man with faith will find reasons to rise. A man without faith will see walls. A man with faith will see doors. The difference is not in what they face, but in how they think. You must begin to feed your faith, starve your doubts, build a mental picture of success so vivid, so detailed, that it cannot be denied. See yourself as the man who has already arrived. Walk, talk, think, and act like the man you are becoming, not the one you've been. Speak your faith aloud. Let your words agree with your vision. The tongue is a tool. It will build or destroy. If you speak fear, fear will grow. If you speak failure, failure will multiply. But if you speak faith, if you declare the end from the beginning, your life will begin to align with your words. There is power in repetition. Say it again and again. I will succeed. I am capable. I am called. I am becoming what I believe. Say it until your doubts are drowned. Say it until the only voice you hear is the voice of victory. Remember this, faith is not the absence of fear, it is the mastery of it. Faith says, I feel afraid, but I act anyway. Faith does not wait for evidence, it creates it. It builds the bridge while crossing. It walks through fire not because it enjoys the flame, but because it knows the treasure lies on the other side. And when you stumble, and you will, faith says, get up again. When the world says no, faith says there's still a way. When the journey is long and the path is steep and the body is weary, faith whispers, you're almost there. Keep going. So, I ask you now, what do you believe? What are you speaking? What do you see when you close your eyes? Because that and only that will shape the world you create. It is not talent that makes men rise. It is not fortune or fame. It is faith. Pure, raw, unbreakable belief in a purpose that demands to be fulfilled. It is the decision to trust when there is no evidence, to move when there is no guarantee, to persist when there is no applause, and that decision is yours. So begin today. Feed your faith. Declare your vision. Act as if success were inevitable, because with faith it is. Let no man, no circumstance, no delay, no failure rob you of belief. Because when your faith is fixed and your spirit is steady, the world must eventually move. Believe and move with power. Once a man has found his purpose and fixed his faith, he must make a vow that he will never quit, no matter how long the road, no matter how steep the hill, no matter how fierce the storm, he must move forward, because purpose without persistence is powerless, and faith without follow-through is fantasy. You must understand this now. The road to success is never paved in gold. It is paved in trial, in rejection, in failure, in sweat. It is built brick by brick, through effort, through heartbreak, through the grinding of the soul against resistance. But it is only those who stay the course who reach the summit. The man who wins is not always the one who starts fastest, but the one who refuses to stop. Persistence is not a single act, it is a habit. It is not born in comfort, it is born in adversity. It is the mindset that says, I will not turn back. I will not give up. I will not surrender. Not because the path is easy, but because the purpose is worth it. And this is where many fail. They want the victory, but not the cost. They want the prize, but not the pain. They want the crown, but not the cross. But make no mistake, the price of greatness is persistence, always persistence. The willingness to get up again, to try again, to believe again. Every obstacle you face is a test, not a punishment. A test. A test to see if you are serious. A test to measure your resolve. A test to find out if you are made of paper or steel. And the truth is this. Most people quit too soon. They give up when the results don't show. They give in when the voices of doubt grow louder than their inner conviction. They stop digging when the treasure was just one layer deeper. But the man who keeps going, the man who digs and keeps digging, he finds the gold. He always finds it. You must become that man. Let the failures come. Let the delays come. Let the critics come. But you must remain. Stand when others sit. Climb when others stop. Persist when others fold. That is how legends are made. That is how history is written, by those who kept showing up long after everyone else disappeared. There is power in showing up. Every day you persist, you increase your power, you multiply your momentum, you strengthen your spirit, and little by little, inch by inch, what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. A river does not carve a canyon in a day, but over time, with constant pressure, it wears down the rock, not through force, but through persistence. So it is with you. You may not move the mountain today, but if you persist, the mountain will move. The mountain will let your mind become anchored in your purpose. Let your emotions be governed by your vision. Let your feet walk forward even when your heart feels faint. And when the voices of fear whisper, turn back, let your soul reply, I will not. Because you must understand, this is the price of mastery, the cost of greatness, the secret of success that most will never pay. But you must pay it. You must lean in. You must rise again. Not once, not twice, but as many times as it takes. There will be days when you are tired, days when the reward seems too far, days when the dream feels like a distant shore. But in that moment, remind yourself, every step forward counts. Every hour spent counts. Every act of discipline brings me closer to my destiny. Do not look for the easy path. It does not lead anywhere worth going. Choose instead the path of persistence, The hard path, the long path, the path that asks everything of you and gives back more than you could imagine. Because when you have persisted, when you have stood firm, when you have weathered the storm and outlasted the night, you will look back and say, I did not give up. I did not fold. I did not break. I became what I was born to be. That is the moment your life begins to matter, not just for you, but for everyone your example touches. So press on, persist, let the world see what happens when a man refuses to quit. The battle is long, the fight is real, but the victory belongs to those who never stop walking. No man rises alone, no man becomes great in isolation. The myth of the self-made man is just that, a myth. Behind every towering achievement, behind every monument of success, there stands a silent army, a mastermind, a council of minds bound by belief, united in purpose, and strengthened through shared vision. If you would go far, go alone. But if you would go all the way, go with a mastermind. This is not friendship for comfort. This is not association for idle company. This is alliance for acceleration. It is the deliberate union of minds working in harmony toward a definite major purpose. A single mind, focus, is powerful, but multiple minds united in harmony become unbeatable. When one man thinks, he can create. When two minds think together, believing, dreaming, strategizing, they create something far greater than either could alone. They generate a third mind, a spiritual and mental force that multiplies possibility and ignites momentum. And here is the truth. Your success depends not only on what you know, but on who you align with. Show me your closest allies, and I will show you your future. Show me your conversations, and I will show you your direction. The right association will lift you, sharpen you, stretch you, and demand more of you. The wrong association will waste your time, drain your spirit, and pull you quietly back into mediocrity. You must choose your mastermind as a builder selects his tools, with precision, with purpose, with high standards. Do not surround yourself with the indifferent. Do not link arms with the lazy. Do not partner with those who doubt your dream or laugh at your ambition. That is a poison your mind cannot afford. Instead, find those who believe, those who burn with purpose, those who will speak truth when it stings and challenge you when you weaken. Find those who see more in you than you see in yourself, those who will not let you quit, those who stretch your thinking, sharpen your strategy, and stand with you when the storm comes. Because it will come, and when it does, you will need men beside you who will not run, men whose minds are strong, men whose hearts are firm, men who will remind you who you are when the winds of fear try to make you forget. And this is the miracle. When you surround yourself with the right people, your mind expands, your faith deepens, your standards rise, you think clearer, you act faster, you recover stronger. You learn from their failures, you borrow their courage, you absorb their energy, and suddenly success is no longer a distant peak, it is the road beneath your feet. Think of the great builders of history, leaders, inventors, magnates of industry. None stood alone. Each had a circle, a council, a mastermind. Behind every name carved into the stone of time were voices that advised, corrected, encouraged, and empowered. The mastermind principle is not merely strategy, it is spiritual synergy. It is the alignment of belief, intention, and effort between minds that refuse to be ordinary. It creates an energy that transcends logic and defies limitation. It is the secret power source of champions. But you must not wait for it to come to you. You must build it. You must reach out. You must seek minds of vision and strength. And you must become such a mind in return. A man who demands excellence not only from others, but from himself. This is not about popularity, it is about power. It is not about applause, it is about alignment. Because when minds are joined in purpose, mountains move. When ideas are refined in shared belief, breakthroughs happen. And when you walk with giants, you learn how to step into your own greatness. So look around you. Who speaks into your life? Who challenges your thinking? Who calls you higher? And who, perhaps, must be left behind? There is no room for passengers on the road to purpose. You must travel with people who are going where you are going. You must unite with those who have decided that greatness is not optional. You must create a circle that lifts you higher, holds you accountable, and never lets you shrink. And if you have not yet found such people, become one. Be the fire, be the spark, be the example that attracts others of equal flame. When you become intentional about your mastermind, life will accelerate, growth will multiply, and purpose will solidify. So decide now. Build your alliance, strengthen your circle, form your council, and never again walk alone. Because success belongs to those who join minds, fuel each other's faith, and press forward together, undeterred, unshaken, unstoppable. The hour of decision is the hour of destiny. The world does not yield its rewards to wishers and dreamers, but to doers, those who act boldly, immediately, without hesitation, without delay. Those who understand that action is the bridge between vision and reality, between thought and triumph, between potential and legacy. You may possess a magnificent idea. You may nurture a burning desire. You may carry within you a definite purpose, surrounded by faith, fortified by a powerful mastermind. But if you do not act, if you do not move, then all of it is nothing more than a mirage, a castle in the clouds, beautiful to behold, useless to build a life upon. Greatness is not conceived in comfort. It is born in the field of action. It is hammered into shape by the blows of effort, refined in the furnace of motion. And you will never know your strength until you step forward into the unknown, into the challenge, into the moment that demands all of you. You must understand the danger of delay. Procrastination is not harmless. It is a thief, a silent assassin. It robs you of time, of confidence, of momentum. Every hour wasted in hesitation is an opportunity burned in regret. Every day you postpone is a day you bury the seed of your destiny deeper in the soil of fear. You have been given a mind to think, a will to choose, and a body to act. These are the instruments of achievement, but their power is only unlocked through movement. Action sharpens the mind, action strengthens the will, action gives faith its legs and desire its fire. You say you are waiting on the right time, but the right time is now. You say you are waiting on more knowledge, but knowledge grows as you go. You say you are waiting on the perfect plan, but perfection is a lie told by fear to those afraid to begin. The men who moved the world did not wait. They walked, they risked, they moved. Often imperfectly, often trembling, often misunderstood, but they moved. And as they moved, doors opened. As they acted, wisdom came. As they stepped, the path lit beneath their feet. This is the law of motion. This is the truth no one can escape. Nothing happens until you act. Your thoughts remain thoughts. Your dreams, your vision remains vapor until you move. And the first step, the first brave, imperfect step is always the hardest, but it is also the most powerful. Because once you take it, you break inertia, you break fear, you break free. And when you break free, you awaken something ancient and unstoppable within you, the force of momentum. Momentum is the ally of the bold. It rewards the one who dares. It multiplies results. It silences doubt. It fuels belief. And once it is in motion, it carries you forward with power you never knew you had. But it all begins with action. One decision, one step, one commitment to begin now. There are no perfect conditions, no flawless blueprints. There is only now, this moment, pregnant with possibility, pulsing with potential. And if you miss this moment, you surrender it to fear. But if you seize it, you declare war on average. You choose destiny. You choose life. So what are you waiting for? You've heard enough. You've planned enough. You've dreamed enough. It is time to do, time to rise, time to take your idea and breathe life into it through movement, time to stop waiting and start becoming. Let your actions declare your faith. Let your steps prove your purpose. Let your effort become your voice. The men who succeed are not those who know the most, but those who do the most with what they know. They are not the ones who hesitate, but those who strike while the fire is hot. They do not hope, they decide, they do not stall, they start. And they start now. This is your call, this is your commission, this is your moment. Let others hesitate, let others delay. You will act. Because life is short, time is fleeting, and greatness waits for no one. So rise, choose, move, and never look back. So now you stand at the edge of a decision that will define your days, shape your legacy, and echo long after your time on this earth is past. You have heard the truth, not theory, not philosophy, but truth, the kind that cuts through fear, awakens purpose, and demands response. You know now that life is not measured by its length, but by its depth. Not by the years lived, but by the purpose pursued. Not by how long you breathe, but by what you build while you breathe. You have seen the path. A path paved by clarity of purpose, lit by the power of faith, forged by the fire of persistence, strengthened by the circle of the mastermind, and accelerated by decisive action. This is not the path of the many, it is the path of the few. The path of those who refuse to be average. The path of those who will not settle. The path of those who understand that time is the great equalizer, and how you use it determines everything. You must decide now, not later, not someday, now, what your life will mean. Will you leave behind the same silence that you were born into? Or will your life roar with purpose, conviction, and impact? Will you drift with the current, or will you carve your own course? Will you reach the end filled with regret, or will you arrive empty, having poured out every gift, every dream, every ounce of strength in pursuit of your calling? That decision is yours. Life is short, but it is also enough if you live it right. So rise up, seize the time you've been given, burn with desire, walk with faith, persist through the storms, align with powerful minds, and above all, act with courage, act with clarity, act like a man who knows that his time is limited, but his impact is not. Because when you do, when you commit without excuse, when you live without fear, you will step into a life not just of success, but of significance. And that is the life worth living. Good luck on your journey. May your days be full of purpose, your path filled with power, and your legacy echo with greatness. Thank you.